Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Precious and I'm here back with another video. What prompted me to make this video is because my birthday was literally last month. You know, I learned some things in my 20s that helped me get through my 20s so far. And I feel like it'll just be really good advice for anyone that's going through their 20s. Even if you're starting your 20s, if you're in your late 20s, all this advice that I'm going to give will help you in any part of your 20s. So without further ado, we about to get into some things. But before I start, make sure you subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. If I look down, I'm looking at my phone because I wrote my list on my phone. So should we start a little, I don't know, I feel like we're gonna start pretty calm and we just gonna work our way up, okay? So first one on my list is granted. Pretty cliche, I feel like everyone would say this. Take care of your body, drink your water, take your vitamins, eat healthy food. And of course, every once in a while, enjoy the pleasures of life. I guess some things are genetic, like sickness and stuff like that, but we're not gonna speak that over our lives. Like if you wanna eat a hamburger, eat a hamburger. I'm not saying don't indulge in the pleasures of life. I'm just saying make sure you're also taking care of your body at least 80% of the time. And also go to your checkups too. Go to your doctor's appointment, go to the OBGYN, go to the dentist. Make sure you take care of your body. It's the only body that's given to you. Take care of your body. Okay, so moving on. Next thing on my list, give your friends a little bit more grace in their 20s. Everyone's navigating their 20s differently. People are taking a different route to get to where they want to get to in life. Some people are going to college right after high school. You know, of course, that will lead up to your 20s. Some people are going straight into the workforce. Some people going to the military. Some people started families. Some people have kids. Like everyone's taking a different route to get to where they want to get to in life. So just because you're in a different season in your life, that doesn't mean your friend is in that same season in their life. It's not like high school where everyone's taking the same classes and pretty much the same route to graduate high school. Like as soon as you graduate high school, life be lifing. As soon as you hit your 20s, life be lifing. So everyone's of course in a different season in their life, and just try your best to be supportive of your friends, especially if you notice them start to get distant. It's not always about you, Pookie. It's really not. It's really not. They're probably just trying to figure some shit out in their life. In conclusion, just give your friends a little bit more grace in their 20s. Everyone's just trying to figure things out. And if you guys do end up falling out, that doesn't mean it's always beef. Maybe you guys just grew apart. And that is okay too. Oh my gosh, it is okay. Like you will grow apart from certain people when you hit your 20s. Like it is guaranteed. Okay, so the next thing on my list, try not to stress about things or situations that are out of your control. Don't stress about it. It will resolve itself by itself. First of all, rewind. Stress is the #1 killer of this world. And you know, stress brings on all types of sickness. It brings on wrinkles. Nothing comes good from stressing, honestly. Try not to stress about situations that you cannot handle. And if you hear like clinking noises, it's my bracelet. They're gonna be making a little noise throughout the video. And the #1 reason I don't stress personally is because I want to age gracefully. And like I said, stress brings wrinkles. And do you see this face? Do you think this face is made for wrinkles? It's really not. I'm aging gracefully out here. I mean, of course, the older I get, wrinkles will come, and I can't prevent every wrinkle that lands on my face, but I can delay it. And by not stressing, I'm delaying that process by a whole lot. Oh, this is a good one. This I learned in my early 20s after I got my little heart broken. If you want to know how someone truly feels about you, pay attention to their action. I don't care what Bill, John, and Rob have to say verbally to me. I always pay attention to their actions and how they really treat me. Pay attention to their actions. It tells you everything that you need to know about that person, how they truly feel about you. And that brings me to my next point. It's not even on my list. Off the dome, off the dome. If that guy that you like so much is not showing, if he's not showing you enough attention, if he's not texting you, I'm not saying he's supposed to text you every minute on the dot, but if he's waiting like 8 hours to respond to a text message, or he's not taking you out and you really, really like him, he's probably not that interested. And that is okay. Listen, because I have pride and ego, I could be like, how can someone not be interested in me? But honestly, it's okay if that person is not that interested in you. It just may not be the person for you. Why would you want to be with someone that's not that interested in you? I promise you, it will lead to more heartache than anything. The earlier you move on from the situation, the better. Don't be waiting 6 months hoping that this guy will change his ways. 9 times out of 10, he won't. What he shows you in the beginning is what he will continue to show you for the rest of that relationship. Moving along, the next thing on my list is stop trying to be such an independent woman and just ask for help. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the feminist movement and stuff like that, but certain things, babes, listen, certain things I'm just not doing. It's amazing to be an independent woman, but if you need help, ask for help. I feel like some people's pride gets in the way from asking for help because it looks, in lack of better terms, weak, but it's not. Like, the faster you ask for help, the faster you can resolve the problem and get to where you need to get to. Ask for help. That's something I learned in my earlier 20s too, because I used to be such a strong, independent Black woman, right? Never again. Anyways, I used to be a strong, independent Black woman, and it was hard for me to ask for help. And honestly, I feel like it was kind of conditioned in me because if you don't know, I grew up in a Nigerian household. So I'm Nigerian. My parents are Nigerians. They came from Nigeria. And if you know anything about that culture, is that they're very prideful. And that pride was leading into me like not seeking help out when I need help. Because in my mindset, I'm just like, I'll figure it out by myself. I could do this. But all it did was wear me out. So if you need help, ask for help. Nobody will shame you. Ask for help. It don't matter what it is. It could be something so freaking small. Ask for help. Throughout the years, I've gotten better at asking for help. And so next thing on my list, if you are single right now and you've been single for a while, please, 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 just enjoy your singleness. Like, enjoy it. I don't have no kids. And of course, I'm not married, right? So this is the only time in your life that you could be 110% selfish. You don't have to answer to nobody. If you're hoping for marriage, I mean, like, continue to hope for it, but don't let it be end all be all. Even if you're in your late 20s, like, just enjoy your singleness. Hell, even if you're in your 30s and you're still in that season of singleness, enjoy it. Me, myself, I'm enjoying my singleness. Like, of course, one day I will want a husband and kids, but that's not this season in my life. And this is not that era in my life either. So right now it's all about me. It's all about my business. It's just all about everything I want to do, everything I want to accomplish. That don't mean don't date, because I still be dating. I still be outside, but just enjoy it. Which brings me into my next thing actually is romanticize your life. One thing I've been doing lately is romanticizing the hell out of my life. I mean, I'm dreaming big and I'm like really romanticizing my life, how I want my life to go within these next couple of years. For once, I'm not putting a man in those dreams. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I want to get married and I want to have kids, but I'm not obsessing over it, especially not right now. Romanticize your life, the kind of car you want to drive, the kind of skin you want to have, the type of body you want to have, what you want to smell like, what you want to wake up looking at in the morning, the type of environment, the type of apartment, house you want. Just romanticize the hell out of your life and then work towards that. That's my era. Okay, so on to the next thing. Prioritize your mental health. It is so important. Making sure you're taking care of your mental health, either by journaling, going to therapy. Even myself, I was having a conversation with myself the other day. I talked to myself. I hope that doesn't sound weird, but yeah, I talked to myself, right? I'm just like, I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, I may need a little therapy. I plan on starting therapy next January. I feel like that'll be a better time for me because right now I'm just everywhere. Not saying that I'm in a bad space right now. I'm in an okay space right now, but I could be better. There can always be room for improvement. Take care of your mental health. If you need to get off social media for some time, because social media, a lot can be thrown at you at one time that you're not ready for. And we don't realize how much that can affect our mental health at times. Take care of your mental health. Go to therapy, journal, pray, meditate. Whatever that will help you take care of your mental health, do it. Girl. I wish someone would have told me this. Actually, a lot of people did. I seen a lot of red flags, but the red was starting to look pink. And pink is my favorite color. But leave his ass alone. Especially if this guy is no good for you. Leave his ass alone because all he would do is drain you. You're experiencing all these heartaches. You're crying. You can't breathe, sliding down the wall. Leave his ass alone. This man has added no type of value to your life. He's not benefiting you in any type of way. He's over here stressing you. You're over here crying about him. I feel like, especially in your early 20s, people can feel differently. I feel like you really shouldn't be crying over no man. Like, you just shouldn't. These are little boys out here. You will find the right guy for you. He's not the only fish in the sea. And one monkey should have stopped the show. So leave his ass alone. The next thing on my list is to heal. Please heal. Stop traumatizing people out here because you're unhealed. Go and heal. It's not your fault that you experienced what you experienced when you were younger, but it is your responsibility to heal from it. Short and sweet and to the point. Heal. Okay, so the next thing on my list is keep learning. Keep learning. Even if you didn't go to college, continue to educate yourself. Like, learn something new, learn a new language, learn a new recipe to cook. Well, you never really shouldn't stop learning after you graduate from high school or college or whatever the case is. Right now, I'm in a course, a data analytics course, and I'm in a digital marketing and e-commerce course. In college, I graduated with marketing, but I wanted to get my certifications in those two categories. But I wanted to just build on what I've already learned. And of course, I want to implement that into my own business as well. So yeah, never stop learning, especially if you want to learn a new language. I remember this guy, right? I was dating and I was telling him how I wanted to learn a new language. And he was like such a Debbie Downer. Like, he did not want me to learn a new language. He brought up the study that shows like after 25, it's harder to learn a new language. Such a Debbie Downer. But I love in all caps when people doubt me, because guess what? I'ma always prove my point and I'ma run laps around you proving it. Even if you're in your 30s, 40s, I don't know who's gonna watch this video. Even if you're older and you wanna do something new, do it. Try everything that comes to mind out at least once. Like, why the fuck not? Okay, another advice for your 20s is network. Please network. Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up in rooms that people will bring you into that your degree won't. So network. Get out there, network, talk to new people, learn how to start conversations and stuff like that. That's one thing I've learned, especially in my 20s, because before I could still be shy at times, but when I was younger, I was a lot more shy. And a lot of people didn't realize I was shy. I think they thought I was stuck up, but I really wasn't. I was just shy. I didn't know how to like start conversations. I didn't know how to really talk to people or keep the conversation going. And it's all skills I had to build. Build those skills, build those communication skills. We got a couple more on the list. We're about to finish this video strong. So here's another good one. When you set your boundaries, stand on them. I mean, stand on them. Set your boundaries and stand on them. Because I've learned if I would have stood on my standards and boundaries all the times I should have, I wouldn't have been in certain situations. If your standards is up here, this is where you're standing, right here, period. Period. We're not standing right here. We're not standing right here. We're standing up here. Period. And it's not coming down either. I mean, granted, there is compromise, but we're not talking about the compromise portion. Of course, with everything, you're going to have to compromise something. But if your standards is up here, if your boundaries are up here, make sure you're standing on it. Period, point blank. Don't move it for no one. You're going to avoid a lot of preventable situations. Next thing on my list is don't dwell. Don't dwell in life. Life is a learning experience. And this is the first time you're going through life. So if you do something wrong, if you wish you could have done this way instead of that way, like, don't dwell on it. Just learn from it and keep it going. Stop living in the past. Live in the present. Okay, moving on. Next thing on my list. This is also like a big one because in your 20s, I feel like you can feel pressure into living a certain lifestyle that you see on Instagram, but don't feel pressure to keep up with the Joneses. And what I mean by that, don't feel pressure to keep up with all these Instagram girlies, especially if you're in your early 20s and your 20s period. Don't feel pressure to keep up with people on Instagram. First of all, you don't know what they're doing for a living. Because I live in ATL, I'm just going to speak from Elena point of view. A lot of these young boys that are out here, I'm not saying that some of them don't have hustle and they're not grinding for real. I'm not saying that. A lot of them, they some Yahoo boys. A lot of them are scammers. Don't be out here doing foolishness to try to keep up with girlies that you're not even running the same race with. I know that's right. Ooh. Next thing on my list, stay away from negative people. The negative Nancy's in your life. Like, stay away from them. Stay far, far away from them. Me, especially me, I be trying to keep my vibration high. If you hear talking in the background, it's my father. Apparently right now he wants to talk on the phone loud as hell. But personally, I like to keep my vibration high. I try not to stay around people too long that bring my energy down, that complain a lot, that always has something negative to say, even if it's something positive going on. Like, I'm over here trying to manifest some funds into my life, the moolah, the money, right, into my life. And I can't be around people that are bringing and weighing me down. That's bondage. Okay, moving along. This actually might be the last thing on my list. We've made it to the very end. Thank you guys for staying to the very end. And before I do this last thing on my list, make sure you subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. Okay, so the last thing on my list, and I feel like it's an honorable mention because it's actually something let me just get into it. Honorable mention is to keep God in your life. Especially in your 20s, you're gonna go through so many seasons in your life. You're gonna have some really happy and joyful seasons, and then you're gonna have some low lows, right? And especially now that I started to intentionally bring God into my life more, not saying that I didn't before. I will always pray, but I never really read the Bible. It's not that I didn't read the Bible before, but I would like read the Bible for a little bit and then I would stop for like 2 years. If you know, on the Bible app, every day it gives you a daily scripture. I will always read that daily, but obviously that is not enough to feed the spirit. So like I was saying, this year I started to intentionally bring God into my life because I was just going through so much, you guys. I'm not going to get into the whole story on how I got to that point, but I was going through crippling anxiety and a sprinkle of depression. I was just going through a lot, especially earlier this year. I remember I was on a trip in Tulum for my best friend's B-Day, and I just started crying to her and started venting to her because I was experiencing anxiety during that time, but there was literally no reason why I should be having anxiety. Nothing around me or even in my personal life should have given me a reason to feel like I'm having a panic attack, if that makes sense. Up until that point, I was battling this for like 2.5 years. 2.5 years straight, no breaks. No breaks, honestly, bro. So one of the things to intentionally build a relationship with God is I started reading my Bible every day. Even the days I didn't feel like reading the Bible, I picked it up and read it. I didn't go in reading the Bible expecting anything in return. I was still experiencing anxiety, especially in the beginning of when I started to intentionally build a relationship with God and reading my Bible and stuff like that. But eventually, I can't even pinpoint the date it happened or anything like that. Eventually, the anxiety just went away. That crippling anxiety I once had was no more. Don't get me wrong, every once in a while I may feel a little anxious, but it wasn't like it was before. Before, it was like I was always anxious. I was always on edge. I really didn't have any peace. And I really do feel like reading the Bible and building intentional relationship with God really helped with that. So that's why it's the last on my list and it's an honorable mention. Let me also say this too, for the ones that feel like they can't go to God because for whatever reason, God accepts you for exactly who you are. He knows who you are. He knows you better than you know yourself. So with that being said, come as you are to Him. Come to Him broken. Come to Him sad. Even if you're angry at Him for whatever reason, come to Him angry. You don't have to pretend with God. This concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thank you guys again for staying to the very end. If you did enjoy, give this video a huge thumbs up. Make sure you comment and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys staying to the very end. And without further ado, bye.